Okay, I'd like to call to order this regular session of the Mayor and City Council, 6 p.m. Wednesday, July 8, 2015. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Mr. Dilly, would you? I guess I don't seem to see. We had a pastor who was going to come in. We don't see him, but would you give us the honor of giving the invocation today? Sure. Thank you very much. Will you all please stand?
Our gracious Father in heaven, we're grateful to be here tonight, gathered as a community in support of the business that will allow this community to continue to move forward in providing quality life services that we do. We're grateful for the City Council, their willingness to volunteer their time and their experiences to this good cause. We're grateful for the men and women that serve the community with the diligence and effort that they do. And we're grateful for wonderful community members that are engaged and are willing to participate in the public process. We pray for our country, we pray for our community, that thy blessings will rest upon it. And we do so in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Dilly. I guess let's call to the public. I guess we have a couple of minutes here for Mrs. Linda Rushton. Would you like to come up and?
Jody, would you pass these? Sure. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council, Mr. Daly, and staff. My name is Linda Rushton. I live at 269 West Lomas Street in Nogales. Over the past couple of months, the majority of the votes by council regarding some issues have angered many of the citizens of Nogales. As someone who moved to Nogales over 5 years ago, I feel I am in a unique position to observe and not be affected by past history or turbulent relationships. I love Nogales and see such great potential in this city. I get very distressed when I see decisions being made that reflect badly on the city's image. First, let's take the closing of the libraries as an example. Why the city and the county cannot work together is beyond me. Webster's dictionary defines negotiation as a conference or discussion designed to produce an agreement. It is obvious from the closing of the libraries that neither the city nor the county knows the art of negotiation. In a past life, I was vice president of a major bank. My job was to negotiate settlements of multi-million-dollar defaulted loans. And I learned that a key to productive negotiations is to work on making everyone comfortable with the final outcome and not cut your nose off to spite your face. The object of negotiation is not to take all your marbles and go home to teach the other guy a lesson, but to continue through the worst of it. The fact that you voted to close the libraries, if in fact you did vote to close the libraries, which affected thousands of people in the county, is beyond belief. It is obvious to many of us, whether we use the libraries or not, that you wanted to make a point at the expense of your constituents. And once again, Nogales made television news because of another poor decision from the basis of the city. Please inform all of us who voted to close the libraries and who voted to keep them open. Maybe you think that your constituents won't remember the decisions that you have made over the past few months. We will remember, and I for one will remember a lot. If negotiation is too difficult for you, then hire an outside mediator to help you with the process. The second issue I want to raise tonight is the stripping of the funds from the city budget to give to a private entity and the conflict of interest that decision created. I have been advised that I should not say anything, that it was only $20,000, not much money. However, $20,000 is $20,000, and it should be in our budget and not to a private group. The fact that it was the Vice Mayor's amendment that took this $20,000 and gave it to the Chamber, of which he is the Government Affairs Committee chairperson for the board, has a personal interest in the Chamber, smacks as a conflict of interest in my book. Let me read the definition of conflict of interest from Black's Legal Dictionary. If Mr. Machado does not have a legal law dictionary, I will be glad to let you borrow mine. Conflict of
all the
interest.
additions.
Good, good, then you should be familiar with it.
I'm familiar with it.
And you should have said something.
No, because I
Conflict
don't
of
agree with
interest.
you. I don't agree with you.
Term-
Mrs. Rushton,
excuse me.
You kind of went over your 2
No,
minutes.
I have 5 minutes,
No,
and I have not been there yet.
I think you need to get real quick to what you're going to say.
Fine.
Thank you.
I have approximately 2.5 minutes left. Conflict of interest. Terms used in connection with public officials and fiduciaries and the relationship to matters of private interest and gain to them. Ethical problems connected therewith are covered by statutes in most jurisdictions and by federal statutes at the federal level. Generally, when used to suggest disqualification of a public official from performing his sworn duty, the term conflict of interest refers to a clash between public interest and private pecuniary interest of the individual concerned. The key word here are private and personal interest. I believe that the Vice Mayor has a personal interest in the Chamber. Apparently, the Chamber needed more money and the Vice Mayor knew exactly where to get it. Whether you feel the Chamber does a good job or is worthless is not the issue. The issue is that a member of the Nogales-Santa Cruz County Chamber of Commerce, acting in his capacity as Vice Mayor and City Council member, took it upon himself, and with the approval of others, to strip the City Economic Development and Tourism Advisory Board of their entire budget to give to an organization in which he has a personal interest. Not only should he not have made the amendment to strip the budget, he should have abstained if someone else had wanted to make that amendment. Is it going to become necessary for council people to resign from any board they have interest in to run for city council so that there is not a conflict? As I see it, the Vice Mayor needs to make an amendment to the budget again to return the money. And if he does not, the City Finance Director needs to follow the money to make sure it goes where it was supposed to go. I do not feel real secure in providing the Chamber with another $20,000 or a total of $45,000. He also has another option. He can resign from one of the organizations. Either resign from the Chamber or resign from City Council. The three of you who voted to support him should be embarrassed. I know I am thoroughly disgusted. Remember, we vote, and we have long memories.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Mrs. Rushton, for your opinion. Next, we have speakers for Sergio Ariano. You please come up, state your name and address, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My name is Sergio Arellano. I do reside in 8940 Sheriff Straw Lane, Sahuarita, Arizona. And I'm also the chairman of Legislative District 2 for the Republican Party. Mr. Mayor and Council, I'm just up here to say thank you to each and every one of you here on the Council for putting together and, letting an awesome event happen within the city of Nogales. The 4th of July event was exceptional. I saw nothing but smiling faces, happy people that were there just to, celebrate in our independence and come together. It has come to my attention that there are some people that are having gripes and complaints and are trying to turn this into a political matter. And what I want to say is, hopefully, people realize that community is stronger than politics. Regardless of what side of the party you're on, we're striving for the same goal, and that's to improve Nogales, Arizona, and the county of Santa Cruz. It's a shame to see all this work that we're trying to make happen and the successes that we've achieved by coming together be torn apart by an individual or a group of individuals. So I came to praise each and every one of you. Mr. Shane Dilly was really able to facilitate the process for us to get a booth there. Councilman Rojas was exceptional in addressing any concerns that anybody had. And every councilman that I saw there on 4th of July pretty much gave the best and gave their all to accommodate them in any way possible. So I want to thank the city of Nogales once again for everything you do. If there are any naysayers out there, I mean, this is beyond politics. We're trying to improve our county, improve the city here. And it's not about politics. Let's grow, let's prosper, and let's work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arellano, for those encouraging words. I think that you're exactly right. We need more unity in our community, not to be disunited. And I think it showed up on 4th of July. I think it looked like a giant family picnic. I think anybody that was there can say that Nogales came together in a loving way, in a sharing way. They were all very supportive of each other. Everybody was having a great time. And I think it was a very successful 4th of July event. And I want to thank everybody that participated and attended in it. It was very nice. It was really a joyful experience. And thank you so much again for staff and everybody that was there, making sure that it was a success. I guess there's another thing that came up that the community and, well, actually more the employees, I would say the community, but I'll say our county employees, our state officials, were all ready to respond on an emergency that we had this past weekend with the IOI. It was breached and tapped into, and it could have created a lot of problems, but thank God that actually no rain came in. They were predicting rain, they were predicting floods, and all these days we've had beautiful weather. As a matter of fact, even a little shade, some clouds there, so the employees won't get so sunburned out there. But I was amazed at the first few days, especially the first night. I mean, we had a city manager, assistant city manager out there with their Levi's and working clothes, staying up there. I was out there at 2 o'clock in the morning. They were still working hard. So I want to thank all of the individuals, and I think there's a lot of employees that need to be recognized down the road. Tonight's probably not the night, but I'll leave that up to our city manager. But I just want to thank the whole city, the county. They were ready in case if it did turn ugly, in case of the floods came and we needed outside help. Everybody was ready to go. And again, I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful. I just wanted to say those words. I want to bring up, I know that usually we have a manager's report at the end, and I'm going to bring it up so that you can go ahead and add a few words to what's been going on. Mr. Dilly, I'd like to, if it's okay with the council, if we move up the manager's report. So you have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, and I appreciate the words of praise for city staff and everybody involved in this process, beginning Sunday afternoon around 2 o'clock. Looking at me, you can tell I wish there was a little more shade. I tried washing my hair this morning, and it was a painful experience because as I get older, I'm losing a little more and more up on top. But I wanted to join, Mr. Mayor, in your voice of praise to staff. It began Sunday afternoon, approximately around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the process in terms of the efforts to repair what these individuals had done is still underway. And I'll give you a quick update on how that process went. But before I do, my heart was filled with gratitude, honestly, as I was fortunate enough to witness, our staff members rallying to a cause to really mitigate a situation that was bad and definitely could have been a lot worse than what it was. I want to publicly thank our police department for helping us to make sure that the area was secure. That's not an easy task, especially on Worley Avenue. It's heavily traveled by both vehicle and pedestrian. There's businesses in the area, and our police department was right there on the spot, providing all sorts of support to us. We got into Sunday afternoon, and that was a pretty horrific afternoon, dealing with all the sewage and problems that we had. It wasn't until that night late that we were able to get the sewage off of the road, the public road, and back into the wash. And it was the fire department that stepped up to the plate and helped us in terms of getting those public areas washed down, so that when the residents woke up in the morning and they started their new day, it wasn't a black day. It was a day that they could hopefully enjoy with a little inconvenience in terms of circulation of traffic. So I wanted to acknowledge the fire department in all their efforts. And then, I wanted to personally thank John and Alejandro and Jorge for their efforts out in there in terms of public works. And then there was quite a team of public works employees that were involved. I would mention a few names, but they've asked not to be publicly acknowledged, and I respect that totally. But I want you to know that there was a moment, I think a critical moment in this effort to mitigate the situation, where somebody had to be lowered down into that manhole, dealing with all the stuff in there, and you can imagine, and aid the city in bringing relief to the pressurized line. And when I saw that individual just jump into that harness and get latched onto the pulley and lowered down in that hole and dealing with what that man did, he was just my hero for that day. And I just wanted to publicly acknowledge the quiet acts of public service that our employees render to this community on a daily basis. This is just a very public example. We flush the toilet and the stuff goes away. We turn the water tap and people can drink that water safely and know with confidence that their body's going to get nourished. They can come here to City Hall Park and they hit that black button on the sidewalk, and all of a sudden water starts squirting out for their kiddos to enjoy. We just provide a lot of service that a lot of people take for granted, and that's okay. We've made a decision to be in the public service industry, and there's just a lot of stories that go untold. And I just wanted to take a minute tonight with the council and put a huge shout out as a city manager for our employees and their efforts. As we speak right now, the IOI is functional, fully functional. It's been repaired. It's running as it should. The contractor's working on finalizing the slurry fill of the excavated trench that was dug out over the last couple of days, and hopefully by week's end we're gonna have a road that's repaved, a sidewalk that's there, and some dirt put back into that front yard on that piece of property, and life goes on as it normally does. There's just a lot of effort involved in this process, so thank you for giving me a few minutes to offer that praise. Because this is the manager's report, I wanted to also let you know that I know we've mentioned this a couple of times on those 2 street sweepers that we got a grant for. It is right around the corner. We've got our employees lined up for the training that they need, and the mechanics are getting. We're going to have an opportunity to get acquainted with the equipment so that we can maintain that equipment here in the next little while. So I wanted you to know that that's just right around the corner, and we'll be able to be benefited by having street sweepers that are total compliance with the PM10 mitigation regulations that we fall under. Also, Keno Street is done. If you haven't had a chance to drive that thing,
So applaud the staff for that. That was very good.
I wanted to tip my hat and acknowledge again Alejandro, but particularly the street crew, which is under the direction of Tony Santa Cruz. That was a Herculean effort in terms of getting that street done. It affects a lot of residents. It was in terrible shape, and it also serves a nice school down at the end of it. So a great job done by our Public Works group. And then, as we've already heard, the 4th of July event, man, I just love that event. You know, you all come together as a community. My kids love it. We wander around and enjoy the booths and see all the friendly faces. I keep them away from the beer. They're not supposed to have that. And I lead by example. I stay away from it as well. But you know, it was just a lot of friendly faces, and it was a community truly coming together in celebration of the freedoms that we enjoy as a country, this good country that we've been blessed to live in. And I haven't heard any kind of negative report in terms of the event itself. Things ran pretty smooth. Again, it's another Herculean event. It involves a lot of different departments, police, fire, in terms of support, public works, and then I acknowledge Marcel Bachelier of our Public Works, our Parks and Rec department, and his effort in spearheading the coordination and planning of that event. It is not easy. There's a lot of demands. There's a lot of people pulling and tugging, saying, "Hey, what about me? And how do we get this done?" And he's got to manage all of that. And so, you know, I wanted to publicly thank him for that effort. So that concludes my report.
Maybe I'll say a word or two for the fire department there. Chino Gomez was over there, and I guess he was not only taking care of the fireworks and making sure they didn't get out of hand, but he was very helpful on one of the generators that was having a little bit of mechanical problems, but he made it happen so it wouldn't affect the whole event. Thank you very much, Mr. Gomez, for being for knowing it all. Again, thank you very much, Mr. Gilly, for that fine report. I think you pretty much covered all the points. It's been a busy month already. It's gotten started, and it's gotten started off on the right track. Even this emergency that, you know, thank God it turned out to where you guys were on top of it, and you're able to control it. The only other thing I think that we'll be looking down the road is probably working a little closer with our other local agencies and federal agencies, and kind of maintaining a higher vigilance of it to make sure that we don't run into another breach of it. Just keep a closer eye on it.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, I just wanted to, now that I've got your attention, and we're all here together, the way in which those updates were provided to you as we went through the last couple of days, did that seem to suffice, at least give you information in terms of how we were progressing, some things that were happening, and at least allows you the opportunity to call me if you have any questions? Did that seem to work all right for everybody?
Yes, it did.
I didn't get too many questions. I appreciated it when you guys did, but just as long as you guys are getting those updates and that seemed to work, that seemed to work for me.
Okay. And you did a fine job. You kept us well informed, and you're a great point man. Thank you. Going to number 5, communications. Number 1, presentation, tourism special recognition award from the Arizona Governor's Office. Well, we attended. We had a few people here. I think I saw one earlier here. I don't know if she's in the audience. Mrs. Mary Darling was over there. Yeah, there you go, Mary.
Right here.
And so Mr. White went out with us, and I went, and we received the award for the city of Nogales. At the same time, there was another group from Santa Cruz County, Tubac Chamber of Commerce. They got an award also, so that was kind of I don't know, we made history there. 2 from Santa Cruz County getting awards on the same night, but it was a great event. And one of the awards that we have here is the Governor's Tourism Award, special recognition for the city of Nogales, Arizona. And the interesting part about this is that this nice quarter horse here that you see was made out of one giant, big, long strand, I guess, of copper wire. So it's not cut. It's one wire. So, and this was made by one of our artists from one of the Indian nation that provided us with this. He made it, and he did a fine job. And it's just to show that Arizona has a lot to offer. Aside from all the things that we have here in Nogales, we have our tribes here locally that people can go visit the reservations and enjoy what they have also to show. So Arizona as a state has a lot to offer to people that don't live here and want to come and visit and enjoy it. Hopefully they'll always come down to the border and enjoy what we have on this side of the state. The other thing that I want to mention that we received from the Indian tribe, we had an invitation from our local Tohono O'odham nation. They elected a new chairman and a vice chairman, and we were invited, and so I was over there, and apparently I guess Nogales made a good hit with them, and so they honored me with a little gift of friendship. Actually, these are faces inside drawn. It's a small little face, but it's the ring of friendship, and this is the land in between. And so we united in the spirit of friendship with them, that we're going to protect the land from here to the reservation and be a voice with them in protecting the ecology, the environment, and any other need that arises. So we made some new friends down there, and there was leaders from the Apache, White Apache, and one from Colorado, one of the leaders from the Colorado Apache tribe. They also had the Navajo vice president there, Mr. Ned. They had Mr. I guess, Specia from the Yaqui tribe there also. So they have different leaders, and of course we have a lot of dignitaries throughout the state. Always faces that we see here, like Senator Alessandro, and so it was very nice event that they celebrated there at the casino. So I just thought I'd mention that the Indian nation is kind of reaching out, and we're definitely taking their hand and uniting with them to make sure that the best interests of Arizona are protected in the future. But I just thought I'd let you all show this. I can kind of pass this down and let our councilman here and Joey review it. You got to be a little more careful with that one. I think that's breakable, but this will take a beating. So those are some of the things that have been going on, and I just wanted to, again, it's nice to see that our citizens are being united by certain interests. I guess we can look at it both ways, like having a glass either half full or half empty. I know that sometimes things look in a negative side, but really there's a lot of positives coming out of everything. Hopefully, by the next time around, citizens that might see it half empty will see it half full, because we are working together to eliminate the problems that have confronted us in the past. We're trying to work together more united with our county officials, and we definitely are going to be on top of things. So things like the closing of the library won't be occurred or anything similar to that. And so it's a matter of just having good communication and working together. And I believe you can see that spirit here in Nogales that's starting to arise. We've been seeing it throughout this past month and this month, and I think it's something that's taking off, and it's going to continue to grow. And hopefully we'll be able to do the kind of job that our citizens expect from us. So thank you very much for all your support and everything that you do, council and citizens, and we're going to continue with our agenda. And number two, we have an update report from Santa Cruz County Flood Control District on monsoon season preparation.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, I'm not sure if we're going to get that report tonight. I hope everything's okay with Mr. Valdez. I would ask that maybe we can move to number 3, and if he shows up, then we go to number 2.
Definitely.
If not, then we can reschedule with him.
I just got a text from him.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I just got a text from Mr. Valdez. Apparently there was some miscommunication from the chairman to him. He wasn't aware that he was supposed to be here tonight, although we were told that he would be here tonight. So he's more than willing to give us the update, and he'll be here at the very next meeting.
Well, I'll excuse the chairman. He's out of town.
Yeah.
He's I guess him and Supervisor Reese are
So he just texted me right now
on
saying.
vacation right now. So they said that if they needed anything, had any problems, to give them a call. But I guess at this moment, well,
We'll wait for next meeting, but I can tell you there's been efforts on both with the city and the county on mitigating any potential of any flood.
and well, thank him. Send him another text. Thanking him for
Yes, sir.
for calling in
I
and
will.
reporting, and we'll wait for a future report on that. We also have a number 3, a quarterly report from the Nogales Chamber of Commerce. Ms. Olivia Ainsa Kramer, would you like to come up to the podium and state your name?
Good evening. My name is Olivia Ainsa from the Nogales Chamber of Commerce. And today I'm here to give you the quarterly report, which is part of the contract, Mr. Dilly. And I think it's going to be the final report for 2014-15. As you already saw, Council, Mayor, that I sent you a report of the increment of tourism that we've been handling through the visitor center. It has been very interesting to see that our visitors, as well as the calls and packages sent to visitors, are being highly in demand. One of the sources is from Mr. Aaron White. Okay, I would like to say that to all of you. Okay, I watched the video that night of the meeting that you had. As I spoke to the mayor, as an organization, as a citizen, I'm going to tell you, the Chamber of Commerce is a nonprofit organization that we do a lot of things for the community. You might not see it, Mrs. Menendez, and you're probably thinking that we're not doing
Ms.
anything.
Ainsa, let me stop because that's not part of the item on the agenda, and we're gonna get in trouble.
Okay. We just wanted to go ahead and show you where the money is being spent and how these packages are being sent to the visitors, okay? And this is where a lot of the funding, not only on the postage, but by having the visitor center open as required, we need an employee, a staff to go ahead and be there present to go ahead and help all these visitors. You already saw on the report that the number of visitors were high in demand on 2015. The Canadians is coming back. And we're getting more requests through the City of Nogales website, through errands, and also through the visitor center, and also through the Department of Tourism, okay? And I just wanted to let you know, the funding is not going anywhere, and is not being spent on something that we shouldn't be spent.
So you got to keep to the quarterly report that's outlined in the
Okay.
contract.
On the new project that we have as the visitor center, okay, and this is for 2014-15. I would like to pass the new brochure that this is the new project that the Chamber of Commerce is doing, well, the Visitor Center is doing. And this is just a draft, okay, that we're gonna go ahead and work on distributing. This is a visitor's guide that it was very much in demand through the visitors. They wanted to concentrate on the tourist attraction and as well as the brochure rack that you're gonna see. This is just a brochure, a draft, that is also gonna be compatible to download on the website from the Visitor Center. Okay, I brought you this so you could see it, and also to introduce you the new logos for marketing purposes for the city of Nogales as well as the county of the Santa Cruz County. Okay? And the reason why I brought it today is to get any feedback from all of you. And if you have any recommendations, any suggestions, this was just something that we wanted to go ahead and present to the council.
Would you like to say something?
Just a quick question.
Sure.
So I assume, Olivia, that, well, so does the county contribute to the Chamber of Commerce?
No, it doesn't.
So can you remind me again why we call it the Nogales Santa Cruz County Chamber of Commerce? Because we've got a chamber in Rio Rico and a chamber in Sonoyta and a chamber in Tubac. Why is it that?
Patagonia.
Thank you. Why is it that our efforts are so spread out when there's chambers over there taking care of that? Why can't we just be Nogales Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I wish I could answer really specific why, Mr. Dillon, but the Nogales Santa Cruz Chamber of Commerce was the only chamber in the county.
Sure.
Okay, and the Artists of Corporation, everything, all the information that has been, since they founded the Chamber of Commerce, that's how it has been.
Sure.
Before, they didn't have any chambers. Now, if I have to say, like Rio Rico, we were working very closely with them too. Unfortunately, they closed their doors. Now with the Sonoyta Chamber of Commerce, being that they're struggling, okay, they are coming to us to go ahead and work together in different projects, okay? So by having the Santa Cruz County, it's not because we've been depending on the county, okay, but because we represent. A lot of the times, visitors don't come to Nogales. They might come to Sonoyta, but then if we have presence over there, since we've been participating, like we're gonna be participating in the next event this July, we go ahead and promote Nogales too. So that's something that I can tell you, that's something that it has been there on the Articles of the Corporation, and it will be up to, I guess, the board, if they want to change the name.
Thank you.
But the Chamber of Commerce was founded in 1914.
Any more questions? Councilman?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, this right here, this is really nice. I like that. Who came up with the idea of this?
Innovative Blue Solutions. We hired her.
Oh, okay.
And as long, and another, and also what I want to stress on this is that in partnership with a local business for printing, that's where we're gonna get the quotes and we're gonna go ahead and give the business to them. The reason why we went and changed the logo is because if you notice, on promoting any community, they go visit Tucson, visit Tempe, visit this. So that's the reason why we said, what is the trademark that everybody will recognize? So the designer, that's how it worked like that. We put it for some voting, and I can tell you that we got a very good feedback. We had to make some changes. And also, the photographer was local too. The designer is local, so everything that we've been using for this project, and I can tell you the people that had seen this, they've been very excited about that. Something that we wanted to go ahead and, as a matter of fact, in partnership with the Nogales International, when we did the coupon book for the businesses in Nogales, our designers, they went ahead and got the map ready for the book.
Well, yeah, this is very good. There's a great map. It's really very informative. You have a lot of things in here, and it's very convenient. And it's you can tell it's done very professional.
The quality is not that is gonna be a better quality, a better presentation, the colors are gonna be much better. This is just like a draft for you to see it for today. Oh, that's true, they remind me. Once you put it on the website, this brochure, this information is gonna be translated to Spanish and French. So that's another advantage that we're gonna be having. We've been getting a lot of visitors from Canada, as you can see on the numbers, and sometimes they don't speak English, they can go ahead and download this in French, so it's gonna be available for them.
So this is just a draft right now.
Yes,
That's really nice.
That's very nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Very informative. It's got everything.
And the logo.
You're doing good.
Good evening. I just want to step in just to explain the design aspect. The board of the Chamber of Commerce voted this. We're going to be opening up the logo, as you can see here, this one. It's going to be open up for the public to vote on it as well, because, you know, since we're local company designers, we want local feedback. The printers, Unicom Graphics, they're local. We're working directly with them. Photographers, as you saw in the last presentation, well, I forgot to introduce myself. Alexis Kramer, Innovative Blue Solutions, Arizona State University student and PR specialist for the Chamber. We were here last time to give you a presentation, and our photographer, Precious Dreams Photography, even with the baby on the way, ready to pop in less than 2 weeks, is still taking pictures. So all those pictures there that you see are identified exclusively for Nogales. And our designer, myself, and my coworker, that we created that logo is a Primeria Alta, because that should be your staple of your city. So this is where the money that you see here that's being asked for the demand goes in this. As you know, mass quantities that we want to print out 5,000 copies, of course, this is where that money requested will be used for that efficiently. And any receipts and quotes will be available for your, your discretion. It'll be open to anyone who would like to inquire. Also, like I said, this brochure and the rack card are going to be distributed in all the visitor centers in Arizona. And since it's going to be translated in Spanish, it's going to be distributed in northern Mexico as a starting point. Our goal is in the next 2 years to distribute information in Nogales, Arizona, all the way to Central America, because we've actually had people all the way from Central America coming to us. The other day, we got to practice our Portuguese because we had some Brazilians coming into our office. So, and French, like I told my colleagues at ASU and my classmates, the only place I get to practice French is here at the Tourism Center because of so many Canadians. So that brochure that you have there, that map, English and Spanish, and it's going to be available for download. It's going to be easy to see on your phones, mobile devices, you name it, it's going to be there. So, and any questions or feedback that I can answer before passing the floor to Mrs. Kramer-Ainsa?
Do we have any more questions?
No, we don't. We really,
I respect that, and I'll give the
no,
floor.
not so much, I'm not concerned about the time, I'm concerned about the matter or his agenda is in a certain way, and it's here to report what has happened in the last quarter, not what we're gonna do. And there's strict requirements in the open meeting law, and that's why don't feel that I'm trying to be difficult, but I want to keep everybody on.
No, but I recommend you to go ahead and watch the last meeting, Mr. Machado.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. But along that line, the contract that you have now requires a quarterly report before the last installment is given. So please make sure to cover what those items are that are requested in the contract to the council. There are certain items in there, so please include them in your quarterly report so that we don't have a problem in releasing those funds. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. Would you like me to do it right now? Okay, well, the last quarter, like I said, we have the visitor center open as required. We had one part-time employee. We attended several conferences. The last one we couldn't attend it on the government because of lack of funding. We couldn't, it was something that because we were doing brochures, reprinting the brochures because there was a high demand. Then, since I told you, the increment of visitor guides and visitor packages had been incremented, so the cost of that has been going into that. That's part of the contract that those are the only areas where we could go ahead and use the funding for this. Anything else that I'm missing, Mr. Dilly?
It's up to you.
I guess that's my report.
Well, no more questions, I guess, so thank you very much for your report, Ms. Livia. I guess, I don't know, I guess you come back another 3 months from now, or?
We haven't signed a new contract, Mr. Doyle.
Okay, well, thank you very much, then.
Thank you very much.
Okay, under discussion items, we have, line 6, number 1, consideration and possible action on GPS implementation. Mr. Parada? Councilmember Parada?
Yes. Okay, so the agenda, I'd like to take action tonight, since it was supposed to be automatically on the agenda, if it wasn't, that's why I put it back on. I'd like to make a motion to implement the GPS. We can start off with public works and later on see how it works.
We have a motion and a second, any discussion? Not all those in favor?
I'm gonna need a little direction in terms of the funding source. You want us to just take that from contingency? I mean, it's gonna cost, so you wanna know how much it's gonna cost, because we can inform you.
All right, you have that on, just for the public works.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. So the additional cost for public works, the additional cost would be, I'm assuming it's for all service vehicles. For the engineering department, $1,032. For the streets department, $1,720. For the sewer department, $2,064. For the water department, $1,376. For the sanitation department, $2,064. For the fleet department, $688. For facilities, $1,720. And that would be the total, my understanding, for what we typically call public works. I did not total that unless somebody wrote it down real quick, or I can give it to Aaron.
John, a clarifying question though, is that the cost of getting them installed? Is that the cost of annual, I know that there's an annual service.
Yes, sir, that would be the annual, we install them ourselves. There is no writing of a check to get them installed.
Perfect, so this would be repeated every year, this amount?
Yes, sir, $344 annually per vehicle.
Do you have any quotes there with you from other companies and so forth? Did you look, did you try to find them?
Mr. Mayor, no, we didn't try to get a new quote because we already have the system in place unless you want to redo the whole system.
That's fine.
So,
So try and find out where you can get the funds in there, Mr. Dilly. So that's my motion.
and it's one of the things, I guess, that, you know, not only lets us know, but it helps manage also, I believe, the fleet. Kind of, probably will give more information, through overall, through the whole, I guess, coming all the way to your office, Mr. Dibley, probably be able to keep track of, better, maybe help, maybe it will help also not only eliminate some of the problems, but help manage, and hopefully become productive on running that end of the fleet for public works. Those are the things that we're looking at.
Absolutely, we'll get these installed as soon as possible.
Now, we'll put it to a vote though, because, we didn't quite get there. But do you have something else to say, Mr. Lee?
Looking at the numbers, excuse me, we had I made the motion, we had a second. Now we can go for discussion.
Well, discussion, we're open, that's what we're on, the discussion.
It's gonna cost más o menos over $10,000 a year.
Right.
Más o menos. So it'll be a hit on the budget, about $10,000.
Right, but like I said, it'll probably help alleviate other problems that will probably neutralize some of that expense. That's, any other?
Hopefully, of course.
Okay, well, then, well, being no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, motion passed.
we'll make sure we update the council on when those are installed.
Thank you. Going to, I guess, consent agenda on the approval of minutes. I'd like to pull out number 2, just because I noticed that there was a slight discrepancy on, I guess it was more of a clerical error.
Mr. Mayor, there's several errors in the minutes. I'd like to just make a motion to table the minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay. Yeah, any further discussion of that? Everybody, I guess we'll go ahead and go ahead and vote to table.
Just a clarification, is that tabling number 2 in consent, or is that tabling all?
All of
That'll
them.
be all, that'll
All.
apply to all. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and, on the consent agenda, the minutes, we're gonna go ahead and table it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Going to number 8, line 8, orders. Consideration and possible action of order 2015-07-052. It's an order of the Council of the City of Nogales approving and agreeing with the State of Arizona Department of Revenue regarding the administration and collection of municipal transaction privilege tax and the administration of municipal TP tax licenses for fiscal year 2016. Okay, we have a motion to approve. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. We kind of want to go just through, I think you all read through, and we're going to go through just reading it, and then I'll ask for an approval, motion to approve. Number 2, consideration and possible action of order 2015-07-053. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Consideration and possible action of order 2015-07-054. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 4, consideration and possible action of order 2015-07-055. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 5, consideration and possible action of order 2015-07-056. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move, Mayor.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 6, consideration and possible action of order 2015-07-057. Do we have a motion to
So
approve?
move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Mr. Mayor?
Mayor,
Go on.
Okay.
Can we have clarification on the second? Who seconded that? Or who claims the second? 'Cause
I'll
I
claim
think a
it.
couple of you, okay, thank
I'll
you.
claim
Okay.
number 7, Mayor,
Number 7, yes, go ahead.
that's not ready for consideration. I'd ask for a motion to table it.
I have that. Their staff recommends that number 7 be tabled. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any, okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion tabled. Number 8, consideration and possible action of order 2015-07-059. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
All right. All those in favor?
Well, who seconded?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We already have the city manager's report and any future agenda items.
Mayor, I'd like to discuss a future agenda item. I believe that the process of hiring in here in the city of Nogales is not fair. I believe that we should come by, get a commission to go over the applications. It seems to be that some department heads, they abuse of their authority and, hiring hire family members into the system. That's my opinion, and that's what I've been heard. So I believe that we need to be fair with the rest of the constituents that put in applications to work. And I think we have to get someone to oversee and like a commission if it's possible. To oversee the guys that put in for employment, so they can have a fair share of it.
So it's something that you'd like to put as a future agenda item?
Right,
to
see if legal should
discuss
come up
and-
with a solution.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I was gonna ask for that clarification, Councilman, but, so we want a policy, we want legal, Mr. Machado to look at it.
Right, see what you come up with, what process we can do, if it's legal or unlegal, whatever, but come up with a solution that we can be fair to the community.
So, clarification, I've heard two things. I've heard policy and I've also heard commission. If I could just, so we make sure we get it right on the next agenda, what are we talking about?
I want legal to come up with a solution with this, either it's a policy or some kind of a ordinance, whatever.
On the topic of nepotism.
Right.
I think it's more just hiring policy, just, I think, have a discussion and come up with a process on how,
Hiring.
how we go about hiring.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but I was just trying to think
How you
how
agendize it.
we get there. Maybe we ought to have a study session and go over what we have in place.
And look at
And-
other options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, once we know what we have in place, then we can talk about whether or not we need to change it, or maybe it's okay once you realize what's in place. But whatever changes, once we do that, then you can at least let me know how you want it changed, and then we can change it.
We'll start the process, and you'll help us
Okay,
out.
that'll-
In the employment process.
Right.
Yeah.
So do we get it clear then, start that process?
Well, I think the process will be, first of all, the study session
Okay.
so that we'll talk, so you can talk us through it. We'll let you know what's in place, and then you let us know what you want changed.
And then also, I don't know if it's legal or not, the comments that are made tonight on this meeting, I wonder if you can come back with a response on it for the next meeting, so it'll be a clarification to the public that's here and to anybody else.
If we put it on the agenda, you're talking about the call of public comments? Yes, if you want to respond to those, then we can make sure that it's put on the agenda so that you can respond.
Okay, make sure that's on, Mr. Dillon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, a couple of things. First, I want to recognize our state representative, Chris Ackerley, who's been in the audience.
Oh, there we go, yes, Chris. My apologies, sir.
No, that's okay.
He gets to see local government in action.
Thank you for being present.
Thank you.
Second, I want to put the Economic Development Tourism Advisory Board on the next agenda.
Say that one more time.
Just, I want to have a discussion on the Economic Development Tourism Advisory Board.
Mr. Willie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anything other than that? Okay, anything else? Okay, well, being no more future agenda items, then this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.